We have a comparison of the beloved CA99 from Kawai, the Concert Artist Series flagship model, to the brand new CA901, the new flagship. We'll be listening to both of them. We'll be listening to the new competition grand on the CA901, and we'll be talking about the differences that Kawai has put in their new flagship.
Hi, this is Ted with Alamo Music Center in downtown San Antonio, Texas.
I'm Patrick Marr. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, check out our other videos, sign up for notifications, like our videos, leave us comments. We appreciate your support and we love to interact with you. Well, Ted, it's piano fact time. Piano facts, trademark coming. But we like to, we cleared 10,000 subscribers and we like to start all of our videos with a piano fact, maybe something that you've heard, maybe something that you haven't. But we like to spread the history of piano. It's something that we're passionate about.
Lately, part of being in the piano business that's fun for me is finding out when you see different models and different pianos, and a lot of times the used ones different years, what does the middle pedal on this piano do if there's 3 pedals?
Well, that's a common question.
An interesting thing.
It's a common question for people who are looking. A lot of I read that there's 18 million non-professional piano players in the U.S. alone.
That's a lot of folks.
So a lot of people know, kind of basic. They know how to play. Everyone knows how to hit a key and play the note, but they know some basics about the instrument. I'm sure a large portion of that 18 million and maybe more know that the far right pedal is the one that most everybody holds down to play the pianos because it makes the keys last longer, right. And it's a sustain pedal. But what does that middle pedal do? And it's different on different models, like you're saying, depending on the brand, depending on if it's an upright or a grand.
Particularly on grand pianos, most of them now, it's going to be a sostenuto pedal. Mm-hmm. Some of the other like entry line models, it'll be a bass sustain, which will be a separate sustain just for the generally the wrapped strings.
And so a sostenuto pedal, if you don't know, is a really cool contraption where it was good technology at one point. It's right when you strike, whatever you're striking, if you hit down that middle pedal, it will hold what you're striking, but not the rest of it. So if you look at the hammers on your grand piano, all the notes that you just hit, the hammers will stay up, but the rest of them are still down. Sorry, the dampers will stay up and the rest will stay down. And when you look at digital pianos like we're looking at today, the CA series, the middle pedal, the left pedal, and the right pedal are all assignable. So you're actually able to change the functionality, and that's something that's cool about digital pianos is you create what you want your pedals to be.
And on an upright piano, that middle pedal sometimes is a bass sustain. Sometimes it's the quiet mode or the practice mode where it puts something in front of the hammers,
piece of felt,
like a
usually.
Piece of felt. Mm-hmm. And then now in the later ones, the hybrids, it's actually going to be the silent feature that turns it off, or the keyboard off. As you push down and turn to the left, it locks in or unlocks.
And it turns into something new.
But the thing I wanted to mention about the sostenuto pedal on grand pianos is I never really thought much about sostenuto pedal. I never really played it much. And I know there's some literature, piano literature, that has that in there. Some teachers require that their students learn how to, but I'll tell you who really uses a sostenuto pedal, and that's piano tuners. So when you're tuning the bass and you go down in those strings and you want to hear the vibrations for that same note, an octave or 2 above, that sostenuto pedal keeps only that. And if you have it to where you're only listening to one string, it makes it really good to listen to. So the sostenuto pedal, I use it a lot now, not as a pianist,
but as a tuner. Well, not to get too into our piano fact, but today we're looking at the CA series, the Concert Artist Series from Kawai. They have released 2 new models, the CA901 and the CA701. We've compared those 2, we've looked at them, but today we were looking at the predecessor, the CA99, to the CA901. So what did Kawai do differently between these 2 instruments? The CA99 still is an incredible instrument, one of the best sellers, one of the top rated digital pianos, especially when people are spending, almost acoustic piano money on a digital piano. The CA99 was always talked about as, hey, this one feels, it's one of the most realistic feeling, sounding, playing, looking upright pianos, digital pianos that's available. And people really like the layout, they like the sound engine. So to me, when I look at these 2 and I look at the new CA901, it's not as much as they've, you know, gone back to the drawing board and changed a lot. It's more like they've added a couple features and kind of maintained what the CA99 was
They've
praised for.
perfected it. They've actually improved it. And the one major improvement that to me is just phenomenal is that competition grand sample. In every shape, form, and fashion that they present that sample, it is just a great sounding.
And so
Yeah.
they added a brand new sampling of their SKEX, their Shigeru Kawai 9-foot concert grand. They still have the the piano sample that was in the predecessor, the CA99. I believe it's called the Concert Grand. It's the SKEX rendering Concert Grand. They still have that right there up front and center, but they added an additional sampling and rendering of that same SKEX. They changed the philosophy on how they mic'd it up. Instead of on the Concert Grand before, it's mic'd up traditionally how a piano's mic'd up, and they got a great sample off the strings, off the soundboard in every capacity. On the Competition Grand, which is the new one, they did it from the player's perspective.
Oh, right.
And so the whole philosophy behind that is they mic'd it up like you're sitting in front of that 9-foot Concert Grand, that SKEX, and you're hearing it like you're sitting there. And so they changed the speaker configuration.
I really like it. Yeah, and I like that too. They changed the speakers around.
And they have forward-facing ones that are it's meant to change how you interpret your digital piano. Instead of playing this great concert sound, it's like I'm sitting in front of the piano. You have those two options. And we're actually going to spend some time listening to that Competition Grand here in just a second because we think it's a big enough of a feature upgrade that we want to kind of focus on that.
It really is.
On the 901, and we're going to listen to it both from the audio out and plugging it in, getting the audio out sample, but also we'll have a mic on the soundboard for this 901 only. And we'll take a listen to it here. Ted's going to play it for us, but we're going to just take a quick listen between the different renderings that they have. They're presets, basically. I think there's about 8 of them. Presets.
Eight new Competition Grand samples in this.
And so they voice it and they change it a little bit. There's just different sounds. So we're going to take a listen to it. There's Brilliant one. There's a classic. There's
they
romantic.
make them dark, like it sound like a Beethoven piano, and then other ones sound like a pop piano. But
And so let's take a listen to that. We'll come back. We'll talk about some of the features that are different between the 99 and 901. But this is the Competition Grand, the brand new sample that is only available on the CA901 and the CA701.
hope you can hear what I was talking about with that sample. I mean, I know you played it and stuff, but with it's just really a lot more alive.
It is. They wanted to offer a variation on the very popular SKEX rendering that they've had on their concert artist series. It's something where they're very proud of it. People have said this is the best piano sample you can get on a digital piano. They wanted to add to it. They said, let's add another component. Let's add it from the player's perspective. So that's probably the biggest upgrade that we've seen in the CA99 versus the CA901. Other notable things, they've updated some of the technology behind the digital piano. So the DAC, which is
the digital analog converter.
the conversion, the digital analog conversion, they've updated with a piano filter that's specifically designed for the CA901. Just a clearer, high fidelity output on the CA901. When we listen to that one versus the 99, we'll see if we can hear a difference. A lot of times when it comes to this spec, it's like it's such a minute change.
Yeah, you can hear a difference, but the other thing is too is you have to remember whoever's doing the demonstration, this new sample is so inspiring, and you do out of the 8 or so that are there's a few in there that you favor more than the others, so you want to play it a little longer.
Oh yeah.
Or play it a little bit better, and there's some like it's just that short sustain. But you know, every sample and every sound has its purpose for a certain type of literature.
And when you were playing through the CA901 versus the 99, the biggest difference that you heard too with the layout of the screen. So they've changed some of the voicing names. They've changed the layout a little bit on the left cheek block. It's that really nice LCD touchscreen. They've actually added an anti-glare feature on the new one.
That's a major improvement. That helps out a lot.
And so you're not seeing a lot of reflection off the glass. But the electric pianos are named with the idea of, hey, this is a Tyne electric piano, and this is a Reed electric piano.
Right. I like that they named them what they are, and then you can identify them. I don't know if they upgraded those samples or not, but on the CA99, I thought they sounded great. There may be a few extra ones in there, but I know that they properly identified that. It could just be name differences.
Yeah.
But again, the other thing I wanted to mention is that they had reworked the keyboard, so it's a little more user friendly. It's not so sharp on the edges. They had balanced out the edges as well as a few other things that they did.
Yeah, so it still has the Grand Feel 3, but they said they've redesigned some cabinet features and keyboard features. They didn't get very specific. One of the ones that Ted is assuming that happened was that seems like the keys are a little bit rounded on the edges. The way the pedal works in the actual what's it called underneath the piano right there where it's the fall board of the pedals.
Oh, on the lyre section.
Yeah, the lyre section. They've updated just ever so slightly, and then they also changed the way that you can put your music rest down,
right.
And it's got the to hold your book and everything. They also upgraded the Bluetooth to a version 5, so a little bit less latency when you are using an app or you're using any technology to communicate with the instrument. Again, it's still not, Bluetooth isn't to the place where you want to use Bluetooth headphones and play and try to get the sample to play to your headphones. There's still too much latency where you strike a note and it takes a second to get to you. But the Bluetooth they did update is when you click a new sample on their piano remote app, it will change instantaneously to the keyboard, and so there's less of a delay there.
Oh, wow.
They also updated the virtual technician. It's now called the virtual artisan. 20 parameters. They said they've made some changes there, but that is really kind of to make the sample yours. You're able to go in and change string resonance, cabinet resonance.
I want to hear from people that really, really use that, because when I go in and I start fooling with that, the last thing that's on my mind is playing music. It's almost like synthesizer functions when you start changing the parameters and you go, I mean, I think the pianos that come with it are great.
Oh, they're great, but there's little changes that people sometimes like to make where it's like the action, they'll change it to a harder action or a softer action. They'll change the tuning from 440 to 432.
Yeah. I'd like to know some of the things that people do.
And so then you can save those presets so that you can kind of have your own piano.
Yeah, you have your own piano.
What's fun is to add effects too. Sometimes you can add that chorus to your piano.
I've never done anything like that.
But we'll do a review of the virtual artisan, because it is a change that they've done. The virtual technician, they've changed it to the artisan. But let's listen to some of those other samples just real quick. We'll listen to some electric pianos, some of the other samples difference between the CA99 and the 901. Ted's going to play them for us, so let's take a listen to those.
after playing that CA901, and I don't know if it's a combination of everything that they've done, but all of the sounds are just a little bit more sparkly and lively, and they have a little bit more oomph behind them. It's just a better overall unit.
Well, it's hard to tell if they updated the sounds, but because we know for sure they've updated the speaker configuration.
Well, everything seems to be brought up a couple of levels.
And so they have changed kind of just the layout of the speakers. They said the top speakers are angled a little differently. They changed, they said they've changed the way that the twin drive works on that soundboard. So one of the great features about the 99 and the 901 is that twin drive soundboard. So we haven't even talked about that, but there's no change in the idea behind it. But they did say that they've up the wattage a little bit, or the power that comes off of that soundboard on the back. Really a cool feature. We did a video kind of highlighting that on the CA901, but it's, the idea is an acoustic piano. The main source of the volume and the sound and the resonance is all on that soundboard. Right. And on a digital piano, how do they replicate a digital sound on that? And putting transducers on a piece of spruce that is attached to the back of this instrument helps replicate that and makes this a really cool instrument. You can plug in audio ins. You can take any instrument you want and play it off of that soundboard and mic it up. That's some recording really technicians. Cool. They're like, hey, this is a cool idea that you can run.
I love the electric pianos running through that soundboard. Mm-hmm. That just makes them sound wonderful.
It's a very cool feature, and one of the reasons why the CA901 and the 99 have been highly chosen as, hey, this is unique, this is different. The Grand Feel 3 action, top of the line piano action that you can get up there with any other manufacturer, as spoken about, as this is the flagship, this is the best that you can get without actually buying a hybrid instrument.
It's real hammer configuration on top of the keys instead of rigged up underneath with something different.
So just an incredible feeling instrument. Again, the 901 has a couple more features that have been added to it, which have improved the 99's experience, and not a big. I think it's gone up maybe $100. It's $63.99 for a CA901 in the flat finishes, the matte black, the matte rosewood, or the matte white. If you want the polished ebony, it jumps up about another $1,000. You're looking at about $72.99.
That piano looks like a real piano in polished ebony. I love them in polished ebony.
The casing is beautiful. The whole experience is nice because you have that wood soundboard on the back. If you've owned a Concert Artist Series Kawai, please leave comments. Please let us know how you've experienced it, how it's been a great instrument or it's been maybe not as great as you had expected. We love comments like that so that people can help discuss why they should or shouldn't go with this as a decision for them playing music or furthering their musical career. But the CA series is incredible from our experience, and the 99 is their flagship. It's now the 901 is their flagship, and we think that this will be an incredible instrument for the next couple of years. It's really just top of the line, great technology. You can record with it. There's all those great sounds. The applications of running it with your phone or with a tablet make it really user friendly. But really, you're just gonna have a great time hearing and playing how it sounds.
And it's New Year's. Put it on your New Year's wish list.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. This is Ted Barslew. I'm Patrick Marr. We're here in San Antonio at Alamo Music. If you're around the country, you can check us out at Kawai Piano Galleries. We have one in St. Louis. We have one in Kansas City. We have one outside of Detroit in Bloomfield Hills. We've got one in Traverse City, Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. So there's lots of Kawai Piano Galleries around where you can go try one of the CA series, especially the CA901, and I think there's still CA99s out there that are in the field, so you can test those out and A/B them, see which one might be right for you. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.